Greetings to nearly 21,000 subscribers and the other people who haven't subscribed, but hopefully you'll reconsider today. So, back onto the Foundry world of life, and you know, after the live stream we cleared a bit more area. I made this area a little bit more bigger and bulkier, and we went into the experimental phase of steam power, which has been fun. So if you're like me and you're building like a massive foundation to power everything you're doing, the way to do this straight up is to literally split your power to like the way that I've done it. So you take your two turbines and feed them into one power supply, and then when you have two transmitters as well. And the reason why you have two is because, well, it then evenly distributes all 10 megawatts and then puts it into two, so that's fine. It means that's dealing with 5, that's dealing with 5, and we're powering this whole build with 10. That's how you do it. Now there was a little bit of a debacle with that during my live stream, but apart from that we were fine. Now moving on to the future plan of stuff I am doing today. Obviously right now I'm still technically building the stage 2 science packs, because we are researching stuff slowly but surely, because for reasons. I'm actually all I'm doing right now is just researching everything, and then during my live streams is when we go through all the new processes and everything else. So if you do want to check those out, that's what we do on my live streams. I go through all the new stuff, and then during one of these videos I go through some of the problems I have to solve. Today's problem actually was not so much of a problem, it's a bit more of an expansion, and to get a few other processes done is to get these done. Now, I do need to build a few of these new, not tanks, no, I need these, sorry. The logistic container type 2, so I need the plates, the steel beams, machinery parts and electronic components. Thankfully, I have quite a few in backup. I've got a couple of these boxes full of just, I can't even remember what I put in here, so that's all fun and games. So I need a container, so if I take one, no, I don't need containers. If I take those, I can't do this. I want that, and that. And we'll take a few of those. Cool. I'm pretty sure that's everything I do need. So I've got enough to build 10. So I'm going to build 10. I don't think I need 10, but it's always good to have spares. Now, unfortunately, what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty every single one of these and make them bigger. The reason why I'm going to make them bigger is so we've mass produced more, and we have more in storage, which means we've got more to play with to do more processes down the line. That's the plan, at least the plan. Now the first one I actually want to get this one done first, because we are constantly using this. So let me just get rid of this, and the reason why we're getting rid of them is because these containers are bigger, much bigger, much more like in your face. Yeah, I know I use like gangster terminology. Anyways, let me just take all of those, get rid of this. Oh yeah, now I can't remember how far back I've actually got to go with these, so let me just pull this up in my Ujima Flippy auto start, drop this into there. So uno, and there we go. So that actually works out L perfect. So if we bring those into here as well, drop that in there. Actually, before we do that, stick that on there, and there we go. So we're still using the in and out of the same thing, it's just now that we're actually like, we're just containing more of them. So that just means I will bring every single one of my lines back to this point. Now I know there was somebody in my comments a couple of days ago who went, oh, are you going to do this for every single process, like you're going to have to upgrade everything and destroy everything? Sort of, yes, that is the plan. The plus side to that plan though is that the actual skinning process of these containers, these were all level 1 containers, and then all of a sudden, like the level 2 containers, you just stick them on top. So technically I haven't had to remove most of this stuff. It's only things like this I'm having to really mess around with, and that's actually not that bad if I consider that as a win, you know, which I do actually. Strangely enough, it's all good. Right, so that's going to go there. Pretty sure we're in line. Yes. Rightio. So now I just need to join this up. I took out too many conveyor belts. That was my bad. So then we take this, join this back up, and Bob is your mother's brother. Now this basically just means that my smelters are about to go OTT in production, and I haven't got a problem with that at all, and that's all good. It means that all of that's going to be remade.
Fantastic
my conveyor belts
progress.
are all going to get shifted.
Incorporating plants and trees into our factory setup not only enhances its aesthetic, but also contributes to a thriving ecosystem. With the greenhouse ready, we can now multiply the seeds we've discovered and embark on planting trees.
Yay me! I can be a Greenpeace warrior myself as well. I can plant trees. I haven't finished destroying the planet yet. But on that note, that's a good thing. Right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to do biomass farming, because obviously that would be better than rinsing like crystals out of the floor. Now the plus side to biomass farming is that over here I could actually just set up a biomass farm and have that feeding into my furnaces, which is fine. It means that the crystals actually get used for what they want to be doing, instead of just like, you are my fire, moo ha ha ha, which is fine. Now the reason why I built this massive section here is because obviously as the processes are getting more and more complicated and everything else, we are getting to a point where things are, well, they're going to get worse. You know, it's going to be like, okay, we need to mess around, we need to do this. So that's why I sort of wanted to expand on these as well. The downside, and I will honestly say this, the downside to these being the way they are is I can't see what bloody thing's on the side of them now. So that is a bit of a bugger. Apart from that, I'm okay. I don't really care. What I could do, if I really wanted to, I could just put a conveyor belt out the front of each one of these just to say, oh, it's one of those. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Give me a second. Alright, now I know what everything does. Foundations, verticals, machine parts, splitters, conveyor belts, those things, and storage. Fantastic. And there we go. Now on the plus side, I have been making a lot of these. The open containers, basically just so I've got lots of them on stock, so I know what I'm doing, and we're all right. Now the next thing I wanted to really do, because obviously we're going into that like more production line, we're going to be like, okay, I need to do this as well. So I wanted to make a wire maker. I don't know if that means anything to you. It doesn't. If it means it's to me, yes it does. So I wanted to do wire coils, and the reason why I want to do wire coils is because we seem to be going down this process of having like electronic components as a main component for some of the stuff we've been working on. So I need to make these en masse, which is fine. All I need is technium rods, which is right here. Isn't that just convenient? And so what I want to do is I need to set up another storage house, which is one of these. Going to stick the panel right now. Now obviously technium rods are the other side, so I think I have some spare in a container. If I don't, we can just make them, it's fine. Do I have spares? Actually we do. Oh no, that's just biomass. That's all my soil and stuff. I do have a couple of spares of those, but I don't have any big ones. That's not a massive problem. Okay, cool. Imaged. Right, we need to take one of these, add one of those. So, numero 40. There we go. So, technium rods are being taken into here, which is fine. Now, I need to turn those technium rods into wire coil, which actually isn't that bad. All I need to do is take I need one of these packs. We'll take 10. It's okay. It's all good. And then number 6, we can bring that into 3, 4. Chuck that there. Chuck that there. Run a conveyor belt under there. Hit that there. Turn on my lights. It's getting dark. And then we need to build wire. And that's all good. That means when I'm building wire, it's all going to come out of here and we can store it into this box here. So I'm actually building another bus full of stuff whilst I'm doing all this at the same time. And there we go. Copper wire. Brilliant. That's the next process. Because as we're now working into more power stations and everything else, we do need power poles, which are electronic components. Also, when it comes down to it, we do need these as well. So these are done for wire coils to do for the poles. Again, we need these to build these. We need this to build this. It's very satisfactory, and very Factorio. If you ever played both of those games, you'll be right home with this one. Right, well that's that process and that process done. I'm happy, everything's all working good, and I really don't care right now as long as it's all right. Now, yeah, I might start having like a hissy fit soon, but that's just the way I am. Yeah, but apart from that, we're okay. So that's all building, and that's all building, and that's all building. Brilliant. Now, I do want to build. The last major thing was the actual like conveyors level 2. Now obviously I need to like bring out the conveyor level 1s onto another conveyor belt. I need machinery parts and electronic components. And the plus side to that is that I have all of that on tap. So we have conveyors, which is fine. We also have so the way that I should have set this up, and this is just the way that it is for me, you don't have to follow my examples, I'm a bit of an idiot. Anyways, so I need to come off of here, and there we go. Turn that to an outtake, and there you go. Mechanical parts, brilliant, fantastic. Now, obviously, that's not where I want this to be. I'm gonna have to build a vertical part straight over the top, and everything will be okay. That's fine. It's just the way that I normally do things. I always do. The reason why I work it all from one side all the time is because it works for me. Like first space, next one space, next one space, and so on. Now, if we're gonna build the conveyor level 2, I need the electronic components and machinery parts to get their butts over here. So, which is a bit of a pain because it's like, oh no. Now the plus side is I'm already mass producing mechanical parts, which is this conveyor belt here. So this wouldn't be too hard. This is just going to be split the conveyor belt, run it over here, and we'll have the process here. When it comes down to the these ones, which is the electronic components, we've got to go over here, across here, over here, through here, and then back down into here, and we're going to land it right here. That's not too bad. It's okay. It's sort of fine. So I want every single process of this to be put into here, which for this one isn't too bad. So for this I need a splitter because we haven't got any splitters, so we just get a bog standard one. We do have the level 2 ones, but that means I have to make them, and currently, actually, where are they? There. So I need to, at some point to get them out here as well. It's going to be a bit more fun. But so the way that my OCD works, and I sort of like figured out with this game a little bit more, as long as the process that I have made works to start with, is okay with me. So with the mechanical parts, I build them straight out of here. They go down this conveyor belt, they're okay. As long as that line is completely fine, I don't have another problem with that line. That one works, no issues. When it comes to this new one, which is going to be into here, all of this has to work that way. Then when that process is done, that no longer bothers me. So in my head, the way that I've sort of got this working is it comes down to an optimization thing. Once said thing is working, I can leave it alone and it's fine. Which is why when it comes to my bus unit over here, which is, well, I'm going to assume this is what Promethean was talking about when he talks about a bus unit. Now all of these conveyor belts flow into here. Now for me, all of this is sorted. I don't care what happens here anymore because this is all working. Admittedly, it's going to be working quite slow because of the amount of stuff that is actually currently working on. But all of this is now working, so I don't really give a damn about it, if that makes sense. So my next thing would be to make the next thing work, and then the next thing work. Once I've got all of those things working, I don't really care about all the stuff I've done in the past. It won't annoy me as much because it is working. Admittedly, slower because we're only producing one thing at a time. And being at the amount I'm actually blitzing through right now, it's going to be a fun time for a little while. I do hope this doesn't run out too soon though. That is my main worry. I wonder if there's a mod yet. Actually, I'll find out. Alright, so I've just found this out. According to this, and this comes from Mr. McDuck, who's a developer, our first mining tier are currently infinite ore patches for drone miners, which is what we're currently using. The second mining tier are infinite underground rail miners. Basically both extremes. Our game is still in alpha and the mechanics are subject to change. I can tell you tearing down a mining outpost in Factorio always bothered me. The idea of making finite resources infinite by adding some other material is something I'm thinking a lot about. So I'm hoping, because I found an image on EVGA of actually what it actually looks like, and it basically is a giant pile drill, and it bores straight through the floor. And I'm hoping at some point that would be a thing, because I don't see this lasting 100% amazingly amount of time. Hopefully it'll be enough to like finish off these processes. But when we were faffing around in my live stream, we did find, like, we have got this one over here which is unreachable, and then I was looking for another one and I really couldn't find one. So, well, there's one over there, but that's 115 meters away. It's on the other side of the sea. All good, all good. All right, so because I am a idiot, and if you saw on the last piece of video there was like 2 screens, I forgot to turn off the screen. So you like double vision for like the last 10-15 minutes of that video. So no, I'm back here and I deleted it so we can start this bit again. Well, I'm not doing it again. I've done all the processes that I needed to get these up now. So we do have tier 2 conveyor belts, which is fine. It means I can spend my time going back through my conveyor belts. And I was talking about the rail drill earlier. Now, I've just seen some early beta footage. Well, I say early beta footage. It was recorded in 2022. So 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, depending on when it was recorded. Basically, they were saying there is there is a rail drill already in the game. So the article that I read from Steam is probably an older one, which is a bit of a sucky. Underground mining. There we go. That's what we needed to find out. And I want to have a look at this, but I can't. All right, so this is as much as I can get. So this underground mining, this is a rail drill. And what it does is, instead of just using the elements on top of here, underneath the world map, which, I mean, we could go and find out. Actually, you know what? I've got an idea. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get back out of here. Is there a respawn button? Oh, there is a respawn button. Please confirm the reset position. My reset position is right here. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go and dig a hole, because I'm curious and I want to see what actually happens. So thankfully I have a little bit of land that I haven't dug in properly. This will probably be my area that I'm going to do some stuff. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig just straight down, and I'm going to dig until the point I can't dig anymore. Okay, give me a minute. I can't dig any higher, any lower. So how the rail miners work, and I'm just speculating right now because I don't, as I said, oh well, actually I'm not speculating, I saw how it works. The idea is that when you're later on in the game, when you've got the ability to dig a bit further down using a better drill, because at the moment I haven't got a better drill, I think I've only upgraded it like once. So I'm down there and I can't get past this level, right, which does suck a little bit. I'm stuck here. So this level below this, there's like other resources. I know it sounds a bit flat earthy, but because the flat earthers believe that outside of the ice wall there's like more land where we can get more resources. In this game it is actually real. So when you go past this layer, you go through a couple more layers and you'll find more resources below these layers, which is why we've got underground mining. That makes so much more sense. So that rail mine that I was talking about is actually in the game. Grand. Let's just respawn. That also explains why when on my stream on Saturday, where I've got this thing here that says unreachable, that is below the amount of mining level that I've got. I've got another one here that's unreachable. So this would be deeper than what I can get to. So my miners here are good for here, but then they want this one as well. Obviously we can't get to it because I can't go down that deep. It makes a lot more sense now, if I'm going to be brutally honest, because now it's in my head. It's like, okay, now I know what to do. I've got to be honest, after looking at this map as well, this looks like a circuit board. I like this. This is pretty cool. Anyways, so that does sort of help me understand what I've got to do. Basically, go up faster levels and we'll be fine. I've almost finished with the incinerator, and this is actually a mark of to a point. We're almost finished with tier 2 stuff, because once I've done all these bits and pieces, it's literally up to tier 3. Tier 3 for me is I want to get all of this. I want to get all the stuff that's going to help me do stuff. So obviously we need like, we can do Olotum fuel, that's gonna be fun. A mining level obviously, and then we got to like level 4 science pack. So we've got quite a bit of research and stuff to do. The batteries, the chemical processing, the construction industry. Let's put it this way, when I'm finished, there's gonna be like this massive square of just metal and stuff that I'm working on. Yeah, it's gonna get big. I think at the moment I'm playing it quite conservatively. It's like I don't really want to overdo the processes. I don't want to do too much. I'm actually all right with all this. The only thing that I'm a little bit like miffed off with myself is this, but it'll be okay because it works. The only thing I'll have to like really consider is this when yeah, because I've got to try and get that out of here at some point. It does mean faffing around with a couple more things, which isn't too bad. Chances are what I'll probably have to do, actually, that's not a bad idea. What I may have to do is turn this way. So we actually give ourselves a bit more of a gap to get these out, But when it comes to the splitting stuff, I actually don't really care about the tier 2 stuff, because the tier 2 stuff does exactly the same as the tier 1 stuff. It just does it a little bit faster. But if I just do it so that's like the slow part of the process, and then it's just conveyor belts afterwards that are faster, then there's no major harm there, and that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the game running for a little bit. We're going to belt up as much of this as possible. I'm going to take the whole lot out, and then I'm just going to redo the entire like section, because all my conveyor belts need to be upgraded to level 2, obviously, because level 2 is better, and everyone would agree. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I might fill this in, I might not. I wish I could put water in it, you know, just so I could have a pond. That'd be alright. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And also, don't forget, I live stream this every Saturday at the moment. Because I've got Hydroneers finished, I'm done. I need something else to do, and Foundry is my new Hydroneer. So we're just going to keep rinsing it. I'm going to keep going and going to keep growing and turning the world into a massive factory of what I want to see in life. Basically metal and processing for the world to be happy with. So until my next one, peace out, have fun, enjoy everything you guys do. Boom. Fist bump to you.